Okay guys, short video in English. Sweden has just created a new department. It's called the Department of Psychological Welfare. Just what we need. Another big chunk of money down the drain. And it's going to be run by an overrun politician from the moderate party. It's been left, right and center in the government. He's probably done a favor to the Social Democrats and to dictator Mullah Stefan Löfven. So they didn't know what to do with him, so they gave him a new department. Never mind the Swedish taxpayers that has to pay for this unnecessary department. They're also going to create another department called something about infrastructure. To date, we have 458 departments to run a small country like Sweden. Talk about incompetence. This is 459. The new infrastructure they're talking about is going to be 460 different departments. I don't have to tell you how many millions and millions and billions this costs every month. People doing nothing, just so the Social Democrats can recycle their useless, incompetent politicians and people who are supporting them. Sweden is a failed state. It's bankrupt, and Mullah Stefan Löfven, the PM, has resigned, and the one who's going to take over, apparently, they still got to vote on it, but it's a woman called Magdalena Andersson, the worst finance minister in the world. She's been with the Social Democrats her whole life, basically. She's never had a real job. She's bankrupt Sweden completely. She took over. Sweden had a lot of money, and she's done one more stupid things than any other finance minister in the history. Now Sweden is bankrupt. Per capita, we have the highest lending rate in the banks in the world. The housing is a bubble. It's going to burst. She's created a monster, and she's now going to most probably be a PM. She has to be voted in by the parliament, but nobody's going to vote against a woman in the feminist Sweden. Sweden is screwed. I'm going to be diplomatic. We're a failed state, full civil war. The media is covering up, nobody can see it. We have bombs, burnings, cars, houses, schools, everything burns in Sweden. Just like Lebanon, it's Lebanon 2.0. We're going to be the first religion of peace caliphate in Europe within the next 2 years. We're already there. They're already taking so much territory in Sweden. Swedish people can't see it. And we have an organization, aid organization called SIDA, who ships away 58 billion Swedish crowns a year while we have people sleeping on the street. And why do they do this? Yeah, because the Social Democrats gets a kickback. That's the whole reason. What's happening in Sweden is going in the future to go down as the biggest failure of a country of all time. It's going in the history books in how to ruin a country in the fastest possible time. It's been an experiment, a complete fiasco. And who's going to suffer? It's the Swedish people. Some of them are still sleeping. They can't see it because the media is covering up. The Social Democrats under Mullah Stefan Löfven, they give about 9 to 10 billion Swedish crowns a year to the media to keep them on their sides in bribes. They call it something else, but of course it's a bribe because media never takes up the truth in Sweden. We have the free media, like what I'm doing, who takes up the truth. And what do the Swedish government do? Yeah, they censor us. That's under the Social Democrats, and it's disgusting. They talk about democracy and freedom of press and all those things. It's not. It's worse than any dictatorship in the world. But now the corruption in Sweden starts to show even to the normal people, like the ambassador in Vietnam. She got a job because her husband was the party leader of the communist, the left communist party. he voted. He said he wasn't going to vote with the Social Democrats and Stefan Löfven as a PM. He's going to vote against them. So Stefan Löfven offered his wife the ambassador post in Vietnam, in Hanoi. Of course, immediately he voted with Mullah Stefan. The Liberal Party, which has always been a right-wing party, more or less, they were also going to vote against Mullah Stefan Löfven as a PM. They changed their mind in the last second. What happened with the party leader? Yeah, he resigned. He's now the ambassador appointed by Stefan Löfven to Italy. That's nepotism and corruption in Sweden. It's like that in many other countries as well. But it's not supposed to be in a high technology, formerly clean country like Sweden. But the Social Democrats, they are the most corrupt people in the world. And people still vote for them. Because we have always voted for the Social Democrats. They can't see what is going on. Alright guys, that was just my little thing about Sweden today. Tomorrow I'm going to do more news. But Department 459 and 460 coming. More Swedish taxpayers' money down the drain. Congratulations to the Swedish people for this fiasco under the Social Democrats, the Green Party, and its leader Mullah Stefan, the corrupt dictator Löfven.